Over this past weekend, Alex Jones was on his show with an emergency broadcast saying the feds were attempting to come in, lock down his studio, seize all of his assets, and end InfoWars once and for all. Which seems strange. The issue at hand is that Alex Jones owes money to the family of the Sandy Hook parents, the victims. Well, if you want to get paid money you are owed, why would you shut down the company that generates the money? Their argument: Alex Jones does not have a repayment plan, or I should say a payment plan for them, and thus they just want to sell off everything he owns and take his money. What I see here is in line with everything else related to Donald Trump, the election, and the end of American institutions. The idea that a court system is fair relies on the court system being a jury of your peers. The idea that we are governed by laws requires police officers and communities that tolerate the enforcement of those laws, and more so, demand the enforcement of those laws. But where are we now? My friends, laws do not matter. I watched this great video from a gentleman. Let me see if I can try and find his name, actually. I think I can pull it up. A video about why the Constitution is dead. And he's completely correct. His name is, Wade Stotts. That's what I thought it was. Let me pull up good old Wade's X profile. He's got a bunch of videos. You can follow this guy. Let's pull this up. Let's see. He's got a video about why the Constitution is dead that got some traction. I saw Jack Posobiec posted it. And, I don't know exactly where it is. Yes, here we go. May 24th. The Constitution is dead. 550,000 views. And this is relevant to the story of Alex Jones and what's currently going on in this country. The death of the Constitution. I highly recommend this video. I did retweet it. In it, Wade points out that when you start writing things down is when things aren't going too well. That's a scary reality, but it's true. We don't need to tell people not to do certain things, whether it's legal or illegal, right? If they all agree not to do it, then they just don't do it. You know, we don't have a law on the books about eating meat on Friday, but lots of people just don't eat meat on Friday. The point? We're well beyond saving this country by writing on a piece of paper, thou shalt. And so where we are right now with Alex Jones, with Donald Trump, with anybody who stands in the way of the machine, laws don't matter. Look at what's happening in New York with Trump. He didn't break the law. There's no crime. What they're trying to claim as a crime is beyond its statute of limitations. They got him anyway, because what's written down does not matter. What matters is that in New York, everyone agrees this is how it will be. So the jurors are just as, I'll put it this way, you can mock them. You can insult them. You can insult all the people involved, all the Democrats. Only one thing matters. You and they are different. I don't need a law to tell someone not to come in my room and take a dump on the studio floor, do I? People don't do it. Take a look at San Francisco. They do. And Democrats seek to decriminalize these things. The argument made by Wade, I shouldn't call it an argument, but the point, the fact he brings up, is that when societies are facing social degradation, they begin to write down things to make sure everyone knows, don't do this. That means that it's come to a point where a large enough group of people don't realize there are things you should not do. Your culture is fragmenting. Let me read this news about Alex Jones. It's a temporary victory. We've got other news about the Washington Post collapsing. We'll talk about the shifts that we're seeing in this country. The AP reports after a weekend in which conspiracy theorist Alex Jones warned that his media company faced an imminent shutdown by the federal government because of his bankruptcy case, a judge on Monday allowed Jones to keep operating for the next 2 weeks while it is decided whether his assets should be liquidated. Both Jones and his company, Free Speech Systems, filed for bankruptcy reorganization after he lost 2 lawsuits and was ordered to pay $1.5 billion to relatives of the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting. They sued Jones for calling the shooting a hoax, claiming defamation and infliction of emotional distress. Families have opposed Jones's reorganization plans. On Sunday, they filed an emergency motion to convert Free Speech System's bankruptcy reorganization into a liquidation, saying Jones has not made progress in showing how he will pay the lawsuit judgments. U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez in Houston said Monday that he will address the motion on June 14th when a decision on whether to liquidate Jones and his company assets is expected. Donald Trump, criminally charged. What's the crime? He signed a check to a lawyer. Arguably, someone at his company incorrectly labeled those checks legal expenses to a lawyer. Illegal. My question for all of you is, where's the judge who just says, no, Alex Jones has got to pay him back? It's Texas, right? It's good old red Texas, right? Where's the judge who just says, after reviewing this case, I'm telling Alex not to pay him back. Have a nice day. We don't have those judges, do we? You see, this is the problem the right faces. The left will get a judge who will say, I don't know, I don't care, you do as I say. And the right will get judges who go, well, I guess we'll just do as they say. And that's where we are as a country right now. The right hopes that with Donald Trump getting elected, with MAGA Republicans getting elected, we may actually see some procedural change here. Yeah. So I have a video clip where I said that there should be lists of Democrats that we should target with criminal prosecution, that when Donald Trump gets elected, he should appoint a good attorney general and deputy attorney general, head of the CIA and FBI, and he should be going after criminals. There should be investigations. When evidence presented, these people can be indicted, charged, arrested, and then stand trial. And when they are convicted, they can go to jail because they broke the law. And if they did not break the law, then there's no charges. All I'm saying is I would like to see law enforcement do their standard job. And what do we get? Well, the media loses their minds. They threatened to lock up Donald Trump. In just about a month, we're going to find out whether or not they're going to put him in jail. I think at this point, just Brandon Strzok was right. I said, I don't know, it probably goes too far to put him in jail. They'll put him on house arrest or something. And then Brandon said, why? They've done everything to the most extreme degree, every step of the way. They've not stopped. Why would they stop now? You know what? You're right. They're going to put him in jail. They want the picture of Trump in a jumpsuit because the law doesn't matter to these people. And the law never did. We simply write things down in hopes that people can look at the list and say, okay, I won't do that thing. So what do we get? Right now, as many of you already know, Democrats don't care what the law says. They'll make it up. Republicans, our judges, then watch the Democrats break the law and then look down and say, nothing I can do about it. The law doesn't let me do it. And that's where we're currently at. And that's what is happening with Alex Jones. It's what's happening with Donald Trump, of course. It's what's happening with Donald Trump's staffers, Donald Trump's associates. I mean, Roger Stone is a great example. I want to pull up this, got this image from Jack Posobiec that I'd like to pull up for you. I wake up, Democrats do something blatantly illegal, GOP politicians are outraged, nothing happens. And the cycle continues. Yep. That's where we're currently at. Now, The Independent likes to put it as Sandy Hook denier Alex Jones handed lifeline by judge after crying on InfoWars show. I don't know what to tell you, everybody, but that video from Wade is particularly good in breaking down these issues. It's a point that I've made several times. The law has never mattered. Right? Obviously, don't break the law. That's. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is whether society enforces a law is completely dependent upon whether or not people tolerate or don't tolerate certain actions. Why do these judges do what they do? Well, one judge is giving Alex Jones a lifeline, saying you've got a couple weeks to figure it out. If I were a judge, right now, if I was a judge, and I was handed a case like this, it'd be real simple, actually. I'd say, I hereby order Alex Jones to not pay anything. Come to me. Cry about it. What are you going to do? You're going to appeal. You're going to try and go to higher court. Good luck. Have fun. Don't care. Don't care. Supreme Court apparently denied Alex Jones as well. Where are our judges? The system is breaking down, and it's not just one-sided. It's the whole system breaking down. You know, I don't want to make this all so negative, right? Let me jump to a little bit of positive for you in a similar vein. This is a story also about the media. And while I can talk about the threats faced by Alex Jones, and many people will be upset, I come with good news as well. I can't sugarcoat it anymore. Will Lewis bluntly defends Washington Post shakeup. The Washington Post has lost half of its audience. They've lost $70 million, and their staffers are demanding more diversity. We just want more black women. I'm not making a joke. That's literally what they're saying. And the boss is like, guys, no one reads that stuff. No one reads it. We're losing money. You see? What I fear, though, is societal decay. What we're seeing is Donald Trump's case. You've got, oh, it's so annoying. They put an autoplay video on there. That's so annoying. You've got Donald Trump's case. Clearly broken. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to any of these people. They keep doing it over and over and over again. And they go, this proves it. Trump's now been charged so many times. This proves it. None of it proves anything. Republicans do nothing. The system is completely broken. And I got to say, I tell you, I respect Democrats. I do. Because they're willing to just sit there with smiles on their faces and say, I will do whatever I want. And the Republicans will do nothing about it. Man, I wish we had Republicans that would do this. I wish we had a single red state attorney general or district attorney, state's attorney, or even a conservative federal attorney, a U.S. attorney general. U.S. attorney to do anything. They don't do anything ever. Nothing. Hunter Biden is going to jail on a gun charge. Sure, finally. And a lot of people don't think that's legit anyway, but I don't care. That's nothing. It's meaningless. They have destroyed InfoWars, or they're trying to. They are trying to put the front runner to the 2024 election in jail. So I don't care at all about Hunter Biden's gun charge. And you know, I'm fairly 2A absolutist. So the only thing I'm really concerned about is that his girlfriend threw it in a garbage outside of a school. Know what I see here? And I think y'all will agree is cultural cohesion is gone. And what we have left is, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know what the historical analog would be. It is quite literally a period where the rules don't matter and people are doing whatever they want. This is a funny thing, too. This is why I'm not a libertarian, a big L libertarian. Because the idea of pure privatization, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it making any sense. Look, I've often said, if you have a nation of Seamus Coglins, I'm always shouting out Seamus. If everybody in this country had the same moral worldview as Seamus Coughlin, you would need no police. There would be not a single jail. None. Because Seamus is a good moral person and everybody would get along. But you don't. You live in a country of competing interests and corruption. So what is the real purpose of any of it? Well, I got to tell you, what we are seeing right now is the pure state of the libertarian vision. And they can make all the arguments in the world they want. They say, no, this is government corruption. I see no difference between a mafia and the current mafia running things. Are there laws in the books that describe what they could or couldn't be doing? No. What is the difference between a group of people who come to your store, bash up your display case, demanding money by force, and a group of people who come with guns and threaten to shoot you unless you give them your money by force? Which group am I talking? Okay, here, how about this? Two guys show up to your store and they say, if you don't pay up, they're going to make your life a living hell. They are going to do things to you. They're going to lock you in a room. And then they're going to take the money from you by force. It's like, oh, well, that could describe both the mafia and the government. What's the difference? The only argument from libertarians is that there should be a bunch of small governmental organizations privately funded by choice. That'll never happen. The system we have is a function of natural market expansion and the coalescing of power, which naturally forms government, which becomes corrupt, which gets a monopoly. This is how things go. You get rid of the government today, and tomorrow you'll have private warring factions like the oligarchs in Ukraine who will then form a pact between each other. Congratulations on your new government. Power is power. Doesn't matter if you call it private or public. The ability to exert power. A government with no loyal police force is impotent. A government with a police force is all of a sudden a tyrannical monopoly on violence. Well, I should get back to the good news, but I also think it's indicative of the collapse that we're seeing. I don't know if come November we get civil war, who knows what. I just know that American social order is about to shatter. And the only thing that Democrats have to offer is to shatter it further. It would appear that the populist MAGA base are the last vestiges of the republic desperately trying to cling to life. Unfortunately, even for the right, many on the right are proponents of a national divorce, the fracturing and dissolution of the Union. Well, I'll tell you what you get. It'll be like the post-Soviet states. I mean, things won't be bad forever. Things might actually dramatically improve in the short term. You'll keep more of what you make because there's no union, no federal government to take your stuff. Take a look at this. Vanity Fair's article. Washington Post publisher. Actually, we'll do this. Let's make it. Look at the cliff notes from the Post Millennial. Washington Post audience cut in half. Paper losing millions every year. Staff demand more diversity in response. One reporter asked Lewis whether any women or people of color were interviewed and seriously considered for either of these positions. I'm happy to hear that. I am genuinely pleased to hear that. Because these people, their companies deserve to collapse. I have one hope. As everything falls apart, the system will not be sustained. What they're doing to Alex Jones, it's unsustainable. I love the story of Blackstone's formulation and the Fifth Amendment. Why do we have the presumption of innocence? It's actually really, really smart. And you've heard me say it a million times, so I'll give you the quick version. Sodom and Gomorrah, story in the Bible. If there's but one righteous man, one righteous person, I will not destroy these towns. They got the good guy out, then God blew up the towns. Or the cities, whatever. Blackstone said, learning from those lessons, it is better that 10 guilty persons escape than one innocent person suffer. And that makes a strong society. When people believe that as long as they do good, the system will seek to protect them and they will be allowed to live their lives freely, then they abide within the system. They say, I got a good thing going. If you're wrongly accused, they will try to make sure it's as hard as possible. And this means bad people get away with stuff too. It does. But then you got your Second Amendment, defend yourself. When you switch things around and tell people, even if you are innocent, we will lock you up. That was Otto von Bismarck, who said it is better that 10 innocent people suffer than one guilty person escape. That system cannot survive. It can't survive because then the shoemaker says, what's the point of being innocent if they're going to try and lock me up anyway? I just need to make sure I get away with it. What happens then is there is no incentive to be a good person and to sustain the system. The system then collapses because no one believes in helping each other. You're not going to get paid. You're not going to make money. Your business won't succeed. People will rob you blind. The cops will turn a blind eye. The cops will say, pay me off. That's what you get in a society like that. And that's where we're going. I will stress, Alex Jones is, they're targeting him to destroy his company and destroy InfoWars. Donald Trump is being targeted to prevent him from winning. And I would not be surprised to find that many, many more personalities and pundits, media organizations that are becoming too successful get targeted with, say, like the IRS in extreme ways or criminal activity. because we're opposing the system. And the system enriches evil people. That's what we're seeing happen right now. But let me bring it all together. Alex Jones, I don't think he's going to win this one. So I don't know what happens. Because we don't have judges that are willing to stand up and do the right thing. Our side are the people who say, no, we don't do things that way. We are honorable people. That's good. You know, when the system collapses, hopefully those honorable people will help rebuild something coherent. But the Washington Post is also collapsing, which shows that even the left's world structure is failing. The idea of bringing in a bunch of diverse writers with no capabilities and then trying to make money doesn't work. What will happen in the long run? If they are to succeed, they will demand communism, because communism makes sure the Washington Post doesn't collapse. They're going to say, we do good work. It's not our fault you can't make money. The government should subsidize us. Democrats will then say the government should subsidize media. They do important work. You can't have a functioning country without media. And before you know it, your tax dollars are being forced to pay for diversity articles. Or maybe the system collapses completely. There's not enough young people to do work to sustain the old people. Maybe Donald Trump wins and we reverse course. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.